Hey everybody, so summer is almost here, and that means we're going to be looking for books to read throughout the summer months. So today I'm here to share with you a stack of books, some coming out soon, some coming out over the summer, but all books that I think are going to be perfect for your summer reads. So without further ado, let's get started. Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's Russell with Ink and Paper Blog. How are you all doing today? As always, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, I hope you're safe, and of course I hope you're reading an amazing book or two or three or four. The summer is one of my favorite reading times because there's a lot of time when we take some breaks from work and we do some stuff and we get amazing reading done. And today I'm here to hopefully give you some choices for your summer reading plans. As always, get out your pen, get out your paper, get out your Goodreads, however you keep track of your TBR. If you are so able, please get these books from your local independent bookstore or order them from your library if you are a library user. These are a lot of very different types of books, so I'm trying to make sure that I get at least one on your list, but hopefully you'll like a bunch of them. So let's get started with a book that is coming out in July, and that is The Heart in Winter by Kevin Barry. This is out from DoubleDay. Look how cute this looks. It's just so little. It's so cute. Now, Kevin Barry wrote Night Boat to Tangier, which was it nominated for something? I'm terrible at award remembering, but I remember that book being around for quite a while. This book is very different. We are now in 1891 Montana, right outside of the Rocky Mountains, and Butte, Montana is where we're at. It's full of copper mines and all that kind of stuff, and our main character is Tom. He is one of the Irish settlers who have come over to Butte to do the mining, but he is a poet. He is sort of a lot of things, and some of them not so good. He has a drink issue, he may have a drug issue, and he just really goes around town until one day a young woman arrives, the new wife to one of the people who leads the mines, and he utterly falls in love with her, and they start this affair and they run away. They start heading west, but they're not going to be followed, right? So someone's coming after them. It's all about their ability. Can they make it as far as the idea of the city of San Francisco? Can their love make it through? I think this book is going to have that sense of adventure that we love to read in the summer, with a little bit of romance, but also with an edge. It doesn't seem like Kevin Barry is going to be one of those that doesn't put a slight edge on his books, and I think it sounds fantastic. So that The Heart in Winter by Kevin Barry, DoubleDay. This one comes out in July of 2024, which is really just around the corner, if you know what I mean. A book that is currently out, if you are looking for sort of your fantasy, sci-fi type of summer read, is Road to Ruin. This is by Hana, and this is out from Saga Press. This book, just like the premise of this book, just sort of got me. So our main character is Jin Lu, and she is a mage bike rider. So she is one of the few people that sort of travels between cities in this desolate land on these magically propelled bikes in order to deliver messages. And one of her most important messages is a love letter from a prince to a princess in another realm. But the princess really wants to escape her life. She wants to escape this this marriage contract, because that word just totally skipped my brain. And she has a very abusive home life, and Jin is in love with this woman. She's also in love with the prince that she's taking the letter for, but she helps this young princess escape, and they just run. They are on the run, but they are literally being tracked by everyone. The prince and his henchmen, the father and the family that she left behind, and it says here also a bounty hunter with mysterious powers. So everything is coming to head. Jin Lu and this young princess are trying to escape, and their love is trying to break this boundaries, and all of it is in this magical world where you shouldn't be outside a city unless you can survive. So that is Road to Ruin by Hana, out from Saga Press. Very different than the first book we talked about, and very different from the third book we're going to talk about. This is Hombrecito by Santiago Jose Sanchez. This is out from Riverhead Books, and it comes out on June 25th of 2024. It just got a starred review in Publishers Weekly, and when I posted this, I want to say that someone on my Instagram was like, oh my gosh, it's fantastic, you have to read it. So this is the story of Santiago Jose Sanchez. No, I'm sorry, that's the author's name. What am I thinking? This is the story of a young boy. It's been a long day, people. That is from Colombia. His family is from Colombia, and he and his mother come to America. And when he comes to America, he sort of finds his queer identity, and this drives a wedge between him and his mom. And he can't really get that relationship back in line. And then when sometime in the future, the mom invites him to go back to Colombia. And he says when his mother invites him to visit family in Colombia with her, he returns, trying to find peace with his father, with his homeland, with who he's become since he left, and with his mother, who we come to know for her secrets, her complex ambivalence, and fierce love. So this is a very complicated love story between a mother and a son, right? But also it's an identity story for this young queer man trying to figure out who he is, not only in sort of the America where he grew up, but also now in Colombia where he came from. I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this book. I am super excited. Thank you, Riverhead, for sending me this early copy. So that is Hombrecito by Santiago Jose Sanchez, and it is out on June 25th, 2024 from Riverhead. The next book I want to talk to you about just made it in by the hair of its chinny chin chin because it came to my house this weekend. However, this morning I was like, hey, I want to pick something up. I want to read something different. And so I started it, and so far it is brilliant. And that is There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafak. This is out from Knopf, and it comes out in August. So an end of the summer read. But don't you know that I feel like all of her books get nominated for all the awards because she's such a fantastic writer. And this book starts with the most interesting premise. Oh, I can put it down. I know my husband's putting up a picture of it. I held it up too long. What I want to say is, so this book, let me just tell you how it starts when I read it, okay? It starts from the point of view of a drop of rain. A drop of rain that is about ready to start this downpour on this ancient city on the river Tigris in Mesopotamia. And it winds up on the head of the king, and we sort of see this thing go down. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil anything. But we know that this drop of water is going to sort of evaporate and wind up in the sky again. And it's not gendered, right? It's this droplet of water is going to take us. So it takes us to 3 different time periods after this introduction. The first one is like Victorian London to the Thames River, and a young man named, I want to say Alexander. And he becomes famous for translating these tablets, these you know what? I was so funny. When I was reading this, I was like, you say that word all the time. Cuneiform tablets, and becomes famous. Then we jump across time and to nearby Mardin, Turkey, where there's a young girl who is currently going deaf, and she wants to go to the Tigris River, and she wants to go with her grandmother to sort of claim this last bit of heritage before she loses her hearing. Our third character is a woman who is a hydrologist who is in modern day in London on the River Thames, where she's moved in after the failure of a relationship gone bad, a marriage gone bad. And she is on the same point of the river where Arthur was, our translator, in the Victorian England. And all of that's going to come together. I will tell you, the first couple chapters, they're just so good. The writing is so good. So that is There Are Rivers in the Sky by Elif Shafak, and this is out from Knopf here in the US, and it comes out in August. Help me out. I'm pretty sure I butchered her poor name. I apologize for that. I pronounce and I try and I practice, and I'm never good at remembering. So I apologize, but pick up her book. It's worth it. You're wild. We're going to go to a completely different type of book right now, right? We're going to go to a thriller, actually based on a historical thriller based on something real, and that is The Wealth of Shadows. This is by Graham Moore. This is out from Random House, and it comes out at the end of May, so you should be able to get your hands on it. So the book starts in 1939 with Ansel. Ansel is a successful lawyer, has a fantastic wife, has a new baby, but he is obsessed with the idea that war is coming in Europe. He just knows in his gut of guts that something is about to happen in Europe. And, you know, United States has proclaimed neutrality, but he moves to Washington, D.C. He wants to be involved, okay? But he doesn't want to be involved with, like, the warfare of it. He wants to figure out a way to take down the Nazis that doesn't include firing a bullet, okay? So what he starts to develop is this economic warfare, and it becomes this world of espionage for him. He has to lie, he has to do things that are dangerous in order to set this plan in motion. But what winds up happening is his wife actually gets a job at the FBI looking for spies in America. And now he's not only lying at work, he's also lying at home. And it's based on a true story, so very interesting. This idea of like crashing the Nazi war machine by crippling their economy is fascinating. I will probably learn something in here, and I'm super excited. So that's The Wealth of Shadows by Graham Moore. This is out from Random House. And again, it comes out, I think, May 31st here in the US. Okay? A book that I've talked about before, but I cannot not plug the people that I love and the authors that are just lovely people. And that is Every Time We Say Goodbye by Natalie Jenner. This comes out also in the month of May, so it may have just come out where you are. This is the third. It's kind of like a series. It's like a loose series. Started with the Jane Austen Society and then went to Bloomsbury Girls, and now we're in Every Time We Say Goodbye. Characters fluctuate between all of them. And in this one, we are in 1955, and we have Vivian, who was working in, I think, the bookstore in the book in Bloomsbury Girls. But she's a playwright, and she's written a play. It's up. People are clapping and clapping, but the critics pan it, and it just comes off, and she has nowhere to go. And she's convinced to move to Italy. And she goes to Italy on a friend's suggestion and starts to work as a script doctor for a major film that's shooting there in Italy. And she starts to forge a new life when she's there. And what does it says? She really wants to find out what happened to her deceased fiance during the war. There she finds a vibrant movie-making scene filled with rising stars, acclaimed directors, and famous actors in a country that is torn between its past and its potentially bright future. Between the liberation of post-war cinema and the restrictions of the Catholic Church that permeate the very soul of Italy. So I trust Natalie Jenner. She writes fantastic page-turning books. So this is Every Time We Say Goodbye, Natalie Jenner. This is actually out from St. Martin's Press, and it is out in this month of May. So you should be able to get your hands on it really, really soon. Okay, my last recommendation is probably my most non-plot driven book, more of like sort of your thought-provoking sort of novel. But I started this one and realized now that it's part really of the like major opus of the author, so I'm like very fascinated. Hopefully that makes sense. When I hold up Blue Ruin by Hari Kunzru. I am having a hard time with the font on this one, you all. Kunzru, Hari Kunzru. Blue Ruin is the story of a young artist. His name is Jay. He went to art school in London, and everything sort of fell apart. So now he is here in London without the right paperwork, and COVID has hit, and he's had a bout of COVID, and now he's delivering food, and sort of his whole entire life is off path, right? It's not the way it's supposed to be. So Jay is delivering food one day to the middle of like this house in the middle of nowhere, and he finds out and recognizes Alice. Alice is a woman who left him 20 years ago. They were in a relationship, and she left. And he hasn't seen her since. And she realizes that he's in a really tough place in his life. So she invites him in, and it's her and her boyfriend, and then there's like an art gallery owner and his girlfriend, and they're all living in this house. And it says, this sets into motion a reckoning that has been decades in the making. This book, I just started reading the pages, and I was just like, this man can write. Like, you know what it is? It has a little bit of like a Rachel Cusk feel to me in the way that the pages are, but like the writing is so rich and vibrant, and the story is fairly simple, right? But the ideas are so like, they're just so tasty. I hope that makes sense. So that's Blue Ruin by Kunzru, and this is out from Knopf, and you can get it now because obviously I have the hardback copy. So hopefully I am convincing you all to read this. Let's see, I'm going to hold up and not drop anything, I hope. So here you go. This is the stack of books that I just talked about. Hopefully all of these wind up on your TBR. As always, if you're a return subscriber, I could not do this without you. If you're new to my channel, I hope you hit subscribe, you pick up a book or two, and tell me all about it. As always, I encourage you to read globally, shop locally, and until next time, I wish you happy reading. Bye, everyone.